welcome back to my channel. This is Brownsugar Commentary. I'm Kayla. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you are new here. So let's just get right into today's topic, which is basically I want to ask y'all, where did all the black girls go? And when I say where did all the black girls go, I'm saying what happened to black girls on TV, because it's the way we done turned into unicorns out here by Netflix's standards. Yes, Netflix. No, but for real, what I want to talk about is basically the erasure of black girls, young women on television. Specifically, I'm going to talk about Netflix today because that's probably the most dominant platform of like the media we consume nowadays. We all know that like network television is kind of on its way out, and most of us usually, and it's a Netflix show that caused me to have this want to have this conversation. So I was looking on Twitter, as I do so often, and I saw something that really kind of hurt my feelings almost. But it was a tweet, and it was showing, the black girls on sitcoms, on 90s and 2000 shows, and then black girls that are on TV or Netflix, whatever, nowadays. And there is a very, very big difference, very huge difference in what we see in terms of representation, right? Because if you grew up in the 90s like I did, you know that back in the day, there was plenty of representation for black girls, right? We had Sister Sister, That's So Raven, Proud Family, Moesha, you know what I'm saying? Or even like in the family shows, there was always, like I said, represented like Family Matters, Fresh Prince, Cosby Show. All these shows had all these different shades of melanin, you know what I'm saying? Like there was something for everybody. And nowadays, when you look at shows, and like I said, you look at the black girls, they all kind of look the same, if you know what I mean. And it's really, and it's usually, and to be fair, or to be quite real, those girls are usually biracial. They're not even black. And here's when I say this now, because people always have this back and forth that are biracial people black or not. And I get that there are biracial people who identify or will feel closer to the black community. That's fair. That's fine. But the reality of it is we live in a racial world. And at the end of the day, what a biracial girl experiences on a day-to-day is not necessarily the same as mine as a person that has two black parents. These are the facts. That's just it. And why I think that biracial girls should have a space in representation and on television, they should not be the sole representation, especially when they're posed as or shown as to be a black girl, because sometimes in real life these girls are biracial, but they'll have two black parents in the show, and it's like, that's not accurate. So, and it's like I said, it's not like it's a one-off thing. This is a very common thing, especially for Netflix original shows and movies, okay? And here's the even more annoying thing. So there's a new show on Netflix called Grandarmy. The trailer just came out yesterday, today, whatever. Yesterday technically. And in this trailer, it shows to be like a typical, teenage drama show, right? That has the ups and downs of high school, yada, yada, yada. And I saw some black people in there, some black girls that were about my shade. And I said, okay, I'm listening, I'm intrigued. And then there's a scene where I think the black girls are on a basketball team, and they kneel during the pledge, or the what's it called, the Star Spangled Banner. and people are looking confused, and you can see like it's gonna ruffle some feathers and cause controversy and things like that. And I'm like, oh, it's that type of show. Okay, I get it. And this is my issue, right? It's interesting how when it comes to your fun shows or your regular, old rom-coms or coming-of-age films or regular, slice-of-life teen shows, you choose lighter skins, biracial girls to do that. So you cast those girls, right? But then when it comes to the heavy stuff, the poverty, the social injustice, the racism, oh, look at that. Now y'all done found black girls to cast, right? How interesting is that? It is so interesting because now we exist. It's just we can't have no fun, huh? We gotta be we gotta do some emotional labor. We gotta go through some trauma. That's what you're telling me? Is that what you're telling me? Because it's not making sense. It's just not. 2 plus 2 is adding up to 20 right now. It's not making 4. It's not. And I got an issue with that because black people are consuming your stuff, right? Black people are spending their money to watch the streaming service. I think at the very least we should have a show that we see ourselves in, at least a couple of them. We should have a plethora, because I know during this quarantine y'all done made some coins now. And on top of that, I'm hearing from this show that there's something going on with the writers. Like a girl spoke out on Twitter saying that they were mistreated, and it's specifically black people and was being mistreated on the show, and they had to walk out the show. Netflix, what you doing? What are we doing here? What's happening? What's going on? Because this it's really looking bad for y'all. It's looking bad for y'all, and it's really the way that Hulu is the superior service. But especially and yes, Netflix is starting to bring back some of these older shows, but some of these shows was on Hulu before. So like The Game been on Hulu for months now, all the seasons. So it's like Hulu's originals we just don't got enough yet for me to really commit, all the way. And like I said, Netflix done reeled us back in with all these oldies but goodies. But and I'm like, and it's like, that's great, right? Like, Moesha, I ain't seen Moesha in years, and Sister and The Girlfriends. And yes, by all means, bring those shows back, but you need to also do the work now. Like, you have the means to give us a show right now. You can do that, and you choose to give us this, and to take it even a step further. Because I'm like, looking at the shows they have right now for teens, right? You got Outer Banks, you got Stranger Things, Sex Education, On My Block, and recently they made Blood and Water. Out of all those shows, Blood and Water is the only show that has all black people on there for the most part. And they're about darker skinned people. And then the second one would be On My Block. And that's really more people of color, like Latinx folks, and 2 black characters. I'm not sure. Now, when I say On My Block, it's like On My Block is like meant to me become like Monse Walsh. I guess she's supposed to either be black or just Afro-Latina on the show, I think. But she does fall into that whole, she's lighter skin. She got loose curly hair, so she ain't really representing nobody like me. Like I said, love the show, but that is an issue. And I think even to take a step further, like for a show with like a bunch of Latinx people in there, they ain't no Afro-Latinos, like, or even darker skin Latinas. Like, it's like those people exist too. So, I gotta side-eye that as well. You know what I mean? And then what do you have? Like I said, Stranger Things. You got Lucas, who's a dark-skinned boy. And then you have his sister, who just recently became a main cast member. And God knows if you're gonna keep using her in the next season. We have to wait 3 seasons for that. 3 seasons to give her a big part? Come on. And then what else? Other show I just named, 13 Reasons. There's about what, 3 black people on that show? I think there's one biracial girl, right? That was from season 1. That was Hannah's friend. And then you have the other girl that caused the car accident, something like that. But she's pretty much, I think she's a non-factor to me. I don't remember her being that important, like, honestly. And I don't think they even really utilized her past season 1 like that. And then there's like a 3rd season, I see another black girl, but she's pretty much painted as a villain. So it's like, yeah, it's gonna be a no for me, dog. Like, nah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, the thing is, you give white kids all these stories that are being told about their childhood, that they're growing up, and they get the freedom to do things. Like, yes, like 13 Reasons is like a heavier show where they're kind of going through a lot of trauma, and granted, that should have just been 1 season or a movie or something and call it a day, but another conversation another time. But, you know, the other shows, like Stranger Things, they out here hunting monsters, and, you know what I mean, like, and I know there's an Outer Banks show. I don't really know what that show's about, but it seemed like they having a good time, right? You know, and there's plenty others I don't even know, because most of the time, if I don't see nobody look like me, I ain't watching it, period. So I'm like, what's really going on here? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, and Blood and Water just got to Netflix this year, and it's a South African show. Like, come on, why did it take this long? And I really hope that if people really seem to know about it and like it, so I'm really just hoping. I think they're getting another season, but, you know, I really hope that it don't get the Get Down treatment, because the Get Down we didn't get nothing. We got 2 seasons, that was it. And see what I'm saying? Like, we had to Get Down, we had to wait mad long, and then we got, you know, it's like, it's so sparingly, but y'all quick to put out these, you know, the shows with predominantly white cast, like it's nothing. It's every other week you get a new show. And don't even get me started on movies, because that's really what really gets me annoyed. Because it's like, the last show or movie I done seen on Netflix that had to do with a black kid or a black person was the protagonist of the movie was See You Yesterday, right? And for those that hasn't seen it, it's basically about a young girl who lives in New York, and her brother gets killed by the police, and she builds a time machine to go back in time to stop the police from killing her brother. And it's like, what? Why? Why is that the movie we get? Why? You know what I mean? Like, why is that the movie you give us? You know what I'm saying? You give this young girl, like, and it's like, while the movie isn't necessarily bad, it's not written bad, it's not shot bad, it's not low budget or anything, Spike Lee's involved, so, you know, it's quality, but at the end of the day, it's traumatic. We have to keep watching this young boy get killed by the police over and over and over again. Like, why couldn't she build a time machine to find the perfect prom dress, or ask her crush out because she had a bad date? Like, why? Because if it was a white movie, that's what the movie would be, right? Let's keep it 1,000. If it was a white movie, that would be the plot. It would not be stopping nobody getting killed by the police. It just wouldn't be. And it was, like, the character is interesting. I liked that character. You know what I'm saying? Like, how often do we get to see black kids being interested in science and math and you know what I'm saying? Like, and building time machines. Like, how cool is that? Like, how, you know what things you could have done with that? And I don't even care if it would be boring. Like, at least it would have been something different. Because we haven't seen a movie like that. You know what I'm saying? The last time I didn't see a movie like that was The Proof Point. Like this video if you know about The Proof Point. Or 17 Again. Oh, those are both Taj Mowry films. Interesting. Anywho, but I'm saying like the last time I've seen something similar, like where we saw, like, you know, black kids, you know, messing with science or whatever, is like that. Like, I ain't seen nothing similar since then. So it's like, and it's like so black people get See You Yesterday. White people get the Kissing Booth 1, 2, 20, 25, because they're just gonna keep that movie going for whatever reason. It's the way I'm not gonna watch it. Not even for fun, because that movie's terrible. Argue with the wall. I don't care. But I'm saying, like, you get all, and Noah Centineo get 20 movies, okay? no shade to Noah Centineo, but that's what I'm saying. Like, he gets all the rom-coms in the world. And the only time we do see, if black people are in these movies, they're the best friend who's usually either racially ambiguous or black. But when I say black, it's usually either a black boy or a biracial girl who doesn't really get much to do except to really just drive the plot along. We don't really learn about this character. We don't see what they got going on outside of the friendship. They just kind of just chilling, and that's it. And it's like, okay, but why can't we get a movie where the character's building an app or going, having the summer before college, or what I'm saying, or their first year of college? Why can't we get that? Y'all get all these movies for days, movies that you can even choose from, all flavors of movies, and black kids get the trauma porn. It's just, you don't think black people know that stuff is going on in the world? Is that what you think? I don't think these creators really know what they're doing. I think they see these things going on and they want to capitalize and say, oh, okay, this is a hot button issue. Let me just write a little script up about it and whatever. Because it's not the take you think it is. All you're really doing is just re-traumatizing people, because these movies are not really giving any answers. It's not really calling any action. It's not doing anything but showing black pain and black suffering and just reminding you the harsh reality that is the world we live in. And why do we need that? Like, I don't get what am I supposed to do with this now? You know what I mean? It's like, I look to TV shows and movies to escape, because like I said, most of the time when I try to do this social justice thing, it's not really helping me. I know, I'm well aware of what's going on in the world. I'm just, for a half an hour or an hour and a half, I would just like to just remember, we just enjoy a movie and just about something lighthearted and fun. And I think that the kids of today would like that as well, especially after this year. We gonna need a lot of lightheartedness, all right? Like, it's simply just not fair to me. It's not fair. Like I said, we deserve representation too. We are contributing to these shows, right? Or to your network, to your streaming platform. We paying our whatever, how much is it now? $11 a month, all right? And black people are so much more than our pain. Yes, racial injustice is a big part of our lives, and it sucks. But there's more things going on. Like I'm saying, like, you know what I mean? Like we do stuff. We go to, we date, we have fun, we have hobbies. You know what I mean? And I would like to see movies like that, because it matters. Representation matters. Like I said, part of the reason I think I have so much pride in being black is because of those shows that I watched growing up. Like I said, I was starting to watch Biracial the other day for the first time, like as an older person, and I thought, how refreshing is it? Like, it was the episode, I think it was the first episode, and she was talking about she had a pimple, and I'm like, look at that. Imagine a show where this girl's biggest problem is having a pimple. It's the way we don't see that. That doesn't exist. It's just like, why can't I see that now? Because today it helped me. Like I said, it made me feel seen. It made me feel validated in a way. And yes, we can feel validated in other ways. But I think when your formative years, like middle school, late elementary school, and even like the early parts of high school, what you are consuming on a daily basis is important to who you are and shaping who you are and your self-esteem. If you are constantly being told that you ain't cute and you ain't good enough, and you're watching TV shows where the people that look like you either are side characters that ain't got nothing going on or basically non-existent, it makes you feel like, dang, I'm not cute enough to be on TV. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we need to feel like, it feels like we background characters to our own stories, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's surely not the case in real life. Black people exist, all types of black people. You know what I mean? Like, we are not just, side characters or people that's just dealing with pain 24/7, and we just out here fighting the fight. 24/7. We have lives, we have other things going on, and we deserve to see that on TV. Especially, like I said, yes, me, but like, I'm kind of grown at this point. My 4 years are over. Like I said, it would be nice because at the end of the day, there is definitely nobody to look like, no show for me right now. Like, my favorite show is Insecure, but technically, Insecure, Issa's character is not really speaking to my experience. Like, I'm not in my 30s yet. I'm still in my, now about to enter my mid-20s. Like, like her experience is like, while there's certain things that I can relate to, and which is why I enjoy the show, it's still not me. There's still no show about a 20-something-year-old, brown-skinned girl. Like, it's just not a thing. It just doesn't exist. And like I said, I'm fine. I said I would much rather there be a coming of age show before a show about girls. Like, whatever. Like, I'm fine on it. But all in all, Netflix do better. It's the way that all these movies and TV shows need to do better, but Netflix for sure. And y'all need to treat. And I think the other thing is, y'all need to treat your writers better too. Because I say y'all want to do these things, you want to be wokey woke when it comes to Blackout Tuesday, or when some racial injustice happening, Black people, rioting's going on. Y'all want to calm Black people down, right? And you want to be like, oh, we stand with you, Black community, right? But then, and you try to hush us down, like, here you go, here's some nostalgia for you. But then when you're writing shows, you're treating your Black employees bad, and they have to walk out. That's certainly not okay. Like, you can't say you stand with Black Lives Matter. You can't say you care about Black people, but then when it's actually time to, be there for Black people and employ them for your shows and get them in the writer's room, or even, like I said, make sure they're fully represented on these TV shows and their stories are being told responsibly, is crickets on your end. You gotta do better. It's getting tiring and it's getting old really quick, real quick, and it's just no excuse. It's in 2020. If 2020 don't teach you nothing else, it should teach you to tighten up and do better. Period. So yeah, that's my video for today. Make sure to comment down below. Tell me your thoughts. I'm gonna try to link the trailer for the show I was referencing to, as well as like an article explaining the writer situation with that show. But yeah, I guess I'll see y'all next time.